Hi everyone, it's Intang Mayumi. For today's card, I used two stamp sets from Ink Road Stamps. This set is the front of you stamp set, and then the other set is the Bond Intended 2 stamp set. The Bond Intended 2 is a new release from Ink Road Stamps. I also have the Bond Intended 1 that they have, and I had a video posted using that stamp set on Saturday. For my panel, I used Strathmore Bristol paper. I also used Distress Oxide inks, and the inks are Cracked Pistachio, Abandoned Coral, Evergreen Bough, Pink Raspberry, Peacock Feathers, and Tattered Rose. I'm going to do second generation stamping on my panel. I have printer paper on the side to use for my first stamping, and then I will stamp the second generation on my panel. That way I will get light impression of the stamp images. I will place the two leaves randomly on my panel and stamping them on top of each other, and just stamp them until the panel is covered with the colored leaves. And then I'm going to die cut the panel using Gina Marie Designs Scallop Stitch Frame Set. So here is my die cut panel. I was not planning to make this card into shaker card, but after I stamp all the leaves, I changed my mind. I ran my Versamark ink on all four sides of the die cut frame, and I'm making sure I will have a good coverage of ink on the frame, and I will emboss it with Ranger embossing powder. I use coffee filter to catch all the excess powder, and then I'll just funnel that back in the container, and then I'll emboss this frame with my heat tool. So here is my frame ready to go. For this inner die cut piece, I'm going to do ink blending on the outer edges, and I'm using Pink Raspberry Distress Ink Oxide. And I'm just going around and making sure I got good coverage of the ink. Before I adhere the acetate on the frame, I will adhere the inner piece of the die cut panel first. I use removable adhesive to temporarily tape down the die cut frame, and I will inlay the inner piece. My card base is top folding card base, and this pink cardstock is Recollections 110-pound paper from Michaels. I always use 110-pound cardstock for my card base, so my card is not flimsy. And I get my cardstock from Michaels. I use coupon to save money on cardstock. Or you can also get them from Joann's. That's where I get some of my 110-pound cardstock sometimes. I use double-sided tape on the back of the die cut frame and remove the adhesive backing and adhere the acetate on top of it. You can also use liquid glue, but I like the double-sided tape on vellum or acetate because I don't like the glue oozing out and showing on the acetate. And it's hard to clean it if it's already on the acetate. After I remove all the excess acetate, I'm going to use foam tape around the frame. I like this foam tape that I got from Dollar Store years ago. This is my last pack. When I run out of it, I need to figure out where to get the cheapest foam tape because we don't have Dollar Store here where I am. I use my powder tool on the sides of the foam tape so my sequins doesn't stick to the sides later. This is Metallic Accents from Prima. I will add a few drops of water to activate the paint before I use it, and use my brush to mix the gold paint. I pull out this box that I use for splattering. so the paint doesn't go all over my desk. I'm splattering some paints on my panel, and I don't mind if the paint goes on the card base as well. I use the edges of the box and tapping my paintbrush, and I get big and small splatters. After the splattering is done, I'm now using my heat tool to dry the paints on my card base. I also use my powder tool on my panel and making sure the paints are already dry. And now it's time to add the sequins. This flat sequins is free that I got from my package when I ordered the stamp sets from Ink Road Stamps. She always adds sequins and ink pad with your order. I like this flat sequins because I don't have to double up my foam tape. I mounted my image on a clear black and I'm going to ink it up with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And I use Strathmore 90-pound watercolor paper. Before I stamp my image, I'm going to run my powder tool on the paper and I'm going to emboss it with clear embossing powder. And melt all the powder using my heat tool. I use my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to color my image. And the colors I use are red for the bow, pink for her shirt, blush for the skin, and gray for her hair. And just blend the color using my paintbrush. I will leave some music here while I'm coloring and I will be back when the coloring is done. After I color my image, I fussy cut it using my craft knife and Fiskars Soft Touch scissor and run my Memento Black marker along the white edges of the image so it looks seamless. This Hello Gorgeous sticker is also free from the Ink Road Stamps order that I had last time. I will use it for my card sentiment today, and I thought the sticker is perfect on the front of my card. And just place it on the bottom part of the card. I used double-sided tape on the back of my image and peel the tape backing off and place it on my card. I added some shimmer on her shirt and on her bow using Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. For the inside of my card, I die cut a panel using the second to the largest die from Gina Marie Designs rectangle die set, and I'm using all the Distress Oxide inks again to stamp my leaves, and I'm doing third generation stamping in the inside of my card. And after the stamping is done, I'm going to adhere this panel in the inside of my card. And my shaker card is finished. As always, thank you so much for always watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you liked today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.